WWE2k19, X Harper here, and we are back with another customized arena and a very, very, very special moment that has been recorded in game. As you can see, we've got Wrestlemania 3! Macho Man Randy Savage up top there, about to do the big elbow drop on the injured and hurt Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. The referee also down, as you may or may not know. If you've watched WrestleMania 3, you should know that the referee got knocked down, Macho Man did his finish, and then couldn't get a pinfall. So that is the moment I have decided to freeze on while I demonstrate my newest creation in-game. So what I've had to do, as I've told you before in other videos, I repeat, I cannot upload any more arenas in game. Something is wrong with 2K Games. It won't let me upload any new arenas. The only way I can do it is by uploading a show, and then within the show, when you download it, you get the arena as well. So if you want WrestleMania 3, you're gonna have to find it on community creations within the show category, because it does not exist in the arena category. Anyway, let's get on with this then. So as you can see, here is the ring setup. We've got the nice red, white and blue ropes. It's all very similar to the first. It's actually almost a direct mirror of the WrestleMania 2 arena, except for the fact that we're in a very big arena, as you can see. Or maybe not. I'm going to try and just zoom. Let's get close to the floor so you can see it. Here we go. So we've got all these people watching, because this is at the Pontiac Silverdome in Michigan. Basically, I know that these stanchions, the construction that you see at the ringside, I understand that that wasn't there in real life. But I just decided that this arena, because of its size and the atmosphere that you get from having the outdoor venue, just makes this really feel like free pay-per-view. Now, what am I going to start with here? You can see also that the commentary booths have been added. Now, they shouldn't be there in real life. There were no commentating booths, whatever you call them, next to ringside. However, I decided to, because of this arena, I have to have them. So I've gone and done something that I think is quite fitting for the 80s in WWF era, and I've gone and put like these little black pieces of plastic with the logo on, and then stuck that onto the actual ring announcer's booth. And as you can see, I've stuck with blue. Funnily enough, I did watch WrestleMania 4 straight after this, and they had blue tables with blue tablecloths and stuff like it. Everything was blue back in the 80s. It was just the colour of choice, especially when it came to things like broadcasting and WWE events. Now, you can see here that you've got the ring apron. Like I said, it's almost a direct replica of WrestleMania 2 in the sense that it has this, you've got the blue ring apron that goes around, and then it's like they've just draped this extra piece of material over the top with the logo for the event. It's almost like WWF couldn't afford, or maybe it was too expensive, to print the logo directly onto an apron for one-time use, so they felt that it would be cheaper just to get like this black cloth. Maybe ring aprons didn't come in black at that time, but there was a choice that they made at WrestleMania 2 and again at WrestleMania 3, where they did this strange black drape over the ring apron, and as you can see, I've got the logo. Now, in real life, the WrestleMania logo was actually like a shiny silver, so it doesn't quite look shiny here. However, what I managed to do in Photoshop, I obviously created the logo myself, and then I took a background image, which was like a silver background image. I overlaid it over the WrestleMania logo, and then that gives it sort of a little bit more texture. You can see, especially in the numbers 3, you can see a bit more of the dark texture coming through, just to give it a little bit more of a look and feel that it's shiny and it's silver rather than just white. The WF logo, this little one on top, I had to find myself and sort of just edit, recreate it, get it to where it needed to be. The placement of it is almost where it was. I think it could have been a tiny bit higher in retrospect, but I mean, it's really negligible. It looks great. You still see the WF logo in most of the shots, so I'm happy with the ring apron. The ring posts were this really darker blue. It was interesting that they couldn't color coordinate anything back in the 80s. I don't know why, but the ring steps and the ring post were both different colors from each other, and they were also a different color from the ring apron. So we've got like 3 different colors of blue, which is a nightmare for someone like me who likes everything perfectly coordinated. The ring mat, of course, is the same sort of blue. I have added a bit of texture to it. Now, in WrestleMania 3, there was a lot of debris on the floor, but I chose simply to go with these little bits of paper that you see on each side of the ring. I could do more. I'm probably not going to. Maybe in the future I'll add a bit more to it, but you have to remember that there were certain matches where there were things thrown into the ring, especially during I think it was the Iron Sheik's match, actually. They threw loads of paper into the ring. It all fell onto the ring mats, but it was quite late in the pay-per-view, so to be playing too many matches with loads of debris looking stuff on the floor, I'm not happy about that. So I just went with a little bit minimalistic, just to show you that there is some rubbish on the floor, or trash if you're American. Now, this bit you might be thinking, what on earth is there a red patch on the ring mat for? This was real. If you don't know, WrestleMania 3 was special because they actually they did it a couple of times. They did it at Wembley for SummerSlam 92. They elevated the ring because of the venue that they were in. They had to actually have the ring on a stage or a platform, and so actually the ring ramp was not the same height as the ring mat. You had to step up onto the ring mat, and so what they had was this little red overlay that managed to make its way onto the ring mat. I think it was to try and disguise the fact that it was on a platform, but either way, there was this red extension that came out onto the ring mat area, and that led on to the steps, which unfortunately you can't do the classic steps on this game. I really wish they would add that to future games, but they haven't at the moment, so I'm just doing what I can. Now, as for the ringway, obviously it was like a deep red sort of royal carpet, and that led all the way to the back. Now, what I've had to do for the entrance, this is probably the one piece of the arena that I love the way it looks, but it's not entirely accurate. Actually, if it was to be 100% perfect, you see this entrance here that you've got in the arena, that would actually be centered, and you would have simply a WrestleMania logo above that entranceway. It was a very, very simple entrance, but I wanted to basically make something dark so that it hid all of the empty seats behind this area. You can see there's a huge section of empty seats. At WrestleMania 3, it wasn't empty. The whole arena was filled. So what I did, I've just tried to sort of mask that a little bit by pulling in these big curtains, making a proper entrance curtain, and obviously maintaining that WrestleMania 3 logo that was actually there in real life. So barricades, simple. I've gone with the steel barricades. They're the same colour. They weren't a specific colour like WrestleMania 13. When I did my preview in that, you saw that the barricades were like a slightly off gold colour. Well, actually, at WrestleMania 3, it was just a standard silver, which is awesome because it matches the fence barricade, which means I don't have to change anything back there. It all kind of looks great. Now, the other things I can point out, I obviously took out, I'm not sure what this is called, but that LED screen that runs all the way around the arena, I just matted it, made it grey so it blends in. The problem with this arena is that you actually get whatever logo you put up there also shows just behind this section of fans here. So you have to be really careful that you don't put anything obvious or stand out or colourful, because it will actually be right in your eye line when it comes to watching the matches. And that's why I just chose to grey it out to match it to the rest of the colour scheme of the arena. That way you're not distracted by anything when you're watching the match. At WrestleMania 4, again, I watched WrestleMania 4 yesterday after this, and they actually do have the WrestleMania 4 logo in that area. So if I make a WrestleMania 4, I will probably look at adding that to it. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do WrestleMania 4, but if I do, I'm sure it's going to be a big challenge because of the arena setting and all that kind of stuff. But like I said, this is my WrestleMania 3 scene. I'm going to be telling the story later on social media. So if you don't already, follow me on Twitter at xharperco or on Instagram at xharper.co. And the reason you should do that is because I actually tell the story of the match in pictures. When I promote the arena on Twitter, I always add 4 classic shots from the match. This will be probably one of those shots, something like this. Anyway, probably from somewhere down here. So you get that atmospheric look, but you also see the finish. You can see that the referee's down. The picture really does say 1,000 words as far as I'm concerned. So I love taking these shots and getting images from the game. Now what I've had to do, just to let you know if you want to recreate WrestleMania 3 yourself, I've had to change Macho Man's attire to the WrestleMania 3 attire. So everything that you see here, I've had to find in the creation area. Basically color match from watching WrestleMania 3, and that is the color match that I've got. Also, Dragon Steamboat, there's some stuff that I will mention actually before I go on Steamboat. The entrance attire for Macho Man Randy Savage, they do not have the WrestleMania 3 gown that he wore. They had it in the game a couple of years back, but they don't have it anymore, so you're going to have to recreate the color scheme using a different attire. As for Ricky the Dragon, he actually is terribly illustrated in game. They've tried to use the WrestleMania 3 attire, but they've got so much wrong with the entrance attire that I'm kind of offended. The karate outfit that he wears, I do not know what the official name for that jacket is that Ricky Steamboat wears. It has loads of personalized logos, Ricky Steamboat imagery. He's got a patch on his left arm, there's a patch on his chest, and then you've got the dragon image on the back. None of that exists in WWE2k19, so you have to go and use the elements that are under the WWE design section, and in there you'll find some customizable Ricky the Dragon logos that you can then just import onto the attire. And then the headband was a little bit too bright red, so I darkened it. And then also his attire itself, I had to switch it to these boots. Now these aren't the actual boots he wore, but these are the closest to the boots on the game that Ricky did wear. So these are the boots that he wears on his 1994 attire, and then all I did was switched it to white. Now that band here, this little band above the dragon, should be red. Unfortunately, the game doesn't let you change that colour, so that is the only part of his attire that doesn't actually look accurate to the WrestleMania 3 attire. But other than that, it's relatively easy to do. And everyone, that is it, I'm afraid, for this section of my creation mode. Also, just to let you know, the WrestleMania 3 arena and the whole pay-per-view happened during the daytime, but then it moved into the nighttime. So the big main event, Hogan and Andre, almost looked pitch black. And the reason it looked pitch black is because it went dark and you could see the light, or the lack thereof, through the roof, through the ceiling of the Hoosier Dome? I can't remember what it was called, but whatever it was called in Michigan, the Silver Dome. So basically it meant that the first matches on the card looked very bright, but everything else looks really dark. Now apparently it's saying that I'm having an error message on my phone here, so if I've stopped talking, it's because I've just noticed that the game has stopped broadcasting. It says that I'm still here. I'm assuming that you guys can hear me, so I'll carry on and finish this video off. So basically what we've got is the light changes throughout the event. I've selected evening mode for this match because the Macho Man match happened sort of midway through the card, and that's why you get this beautiful lighting with the beautiful sky above. But when I do, I'm going to tell a story of Hogan and Andre the Giant at some point, so I'll switch that out to complete darkness, and I've got a feeling that that is going to completely change the atmosphere of this arena and how it looks when I tell that story. Because if you do remember watching WrestleMania 3, or if you've watched it on the network, you will remember that the Hogan Andre match in particular, when they're in the ring, it almost looks like they're in this tiny little ballroom, because all of a sudden the whole arena it's engulfed in this pitch blackness, and everything is much harder to see compared to matches like Macho Man and Ricky Steamboat. But that's it, guys. That is it for WrestleMania Freeze Arena. I'm going to look at some more WrestleManias, hopefully do a couple more shows for you. If you want to see those, or if you'd like me to do any specific pay-per-views where there have been significant moments in wrestling history, let me know. Hit me up on social media or leave a comment here, and I will do my best to make that. Please like the video, subscribe if you're liking the videos that I'm doing, or you can dislike, but if you do, please comment and give me some constructive feedback so that I can make these videos better for you. And that is it, guys, for this video today. Look out for the stories on social later for my WrestleMania 3 story. I am X Harper, and you have been awesome. What?